How's it going? Welcome back to another one. We're jumping back into Everspace 2, rocking our Legendary Interceptor. Our nice little black and purple going on here with a little silver. We're going to be doing a high-risk zone here as our next move here, but one thing I wanted to work on was our build itself. I felt that the build wasn't doing as well as I wanted it to, so I think what I want to do is actually look at some upgrades we can do. I also want to change out the thermal gun. I feel like it's not really working too well for this setup, so I want to change that up for now. And we have quite a few weapons down here that I could change it out to. I'm kind of thinking going with a flat cannon. I really like the flat cannon in general. We use this flat cannon on our bomber quite a bit, and it does a lot of damage, and it's really strong. I noticed I was versing enemies that had frontal shields, and it was kind of hard to hit them. I didn't know to leave the build with the actual interceptor. It's very much about maneuvering, and it's actually really good for flanking the enemies. But again, when you have multiple targets on you, you kind of have to play the field a little better, a little different. So I definitely think I want to do a flat cannon. So I think we're going to do that real quick. And like I said, we're changing out the thermal gun. I'm not sure how I feel about it anymore. Flat cannon. Let's craft that up. It's a really weak damage, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's make one more. Looks like I'm not going to get much better than that. Kind of a bummer. Let's check the actual attributes here. The same exact thing, just slightly different attributes. Okay, so I think we're going to rock this one here. Scrap this one out. And gonna see if we can install a catalyst. I think we'll rock this one here. Powerful. Swap out the thermal. I do want to actually increase all the damage on all my weapons, so we want to increase catalyst here. This one I want to keep using it for kinetic. So I think we'll go down to, let's see, let's do that. Now we're doing just under 6,000 damage, which is awesome. Also want to go over to our Zapper. And this one is definitely more based around energy damage. Now we'll do the damage. Reason for it, has a really strong energy damage, so that's gonna be really good for taking out shield. And this game you can actually play in different fields, so you can be like, just straight damage. Like my bomber is just straight damage. It just can annihilate things, has a really strong armor. This build, you can kind of play with it a little more where you actually combo stuff up. So for instance, I have an enemy with a high shield. I can actually swap my koi gun to be the first gun and then the machine gun to be the second. And what it'll allow me to do is actually take the shields out and then switch to my machine gun or autocannon and just annihilate armor and actual health. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to swap this over here. And the reason for that is when my first weapon I want to use is my my energy-based weapon, which is going to be the coil gun. Does a lot of energy damage. It's going to allow me to take out shields, strip shields really quickly. Then I can swap to my autocannon and just do that heavy damage up front to the armor and to the actual hull. I definitely want to maybe reroll some of these as well. Like this one here, I think I want to actually... So let's see what we get. Okay, that's terrible. I'm looking for more damage, really. Okay. Each equipped support device. Okay, actually that's really good. We will keep that. So that 5% increased shield capacity for each equipped support dice. I have 3, so that's going to be very good. And we also get the increased kinetic damage, which is really good. We do have increased primary. We'll keep that for now. Armor, I think. I want to reroll this one as well. Yeah. Let's do one more. Okay, that I'm okay with. Gives me increased alt, which is going to be really good for this build. So then we have 15, we have increased alt, and then we also have 5% to that. I wish I could just change the missile launcher. I can't really do that. I can't change any with this one here. I like the speed. All right, I think I'm cool with that all right, so now we are fully upgraded. Feeling pretty good about it. I have a few here that I'm not too sure what I want to lay it with yet. Mines that could be challenging. I think we'll do that one. Yeah, we'll do this one. I think this is a good call. We're going to use a Union Signal Decoder. This is going to be the one that has Mines on Death and Evolution. The marked enemy's level is increased every 15 seconds up to 5 times. If enemy is destroyed, a new one is chosen. So it's 160 plus loot quality, which is great. So that's what we'll be rocking. I think I'm feeling a little better now. I think the flat cannons can make a huge difference. And also our positioning of weapons is going to be very helpful as well. I do like using the autocannon a lot, but again, stripping shields first and then engaging with the autocannon is going to be huge. Also with our better stats now that I'm much more happy with. So we're going to actually head over to Union, and then we will take on this mission. We're in Prescott now, so we're going to actually do some quick crafting. I want to make sure I'm in good spirits when it comes to actually our support devices. We have good heals. I think I might add in one more stack there. I think damage-wise, I think we are right. Shield-wise, I definitely got a couple more of those as well. I think that'll be okay. I don't think we'll run out, but just in case we do, I'm feeling pretty good. So let's go ahead and accept this. Let's go take on this mission. All right, let's do this. We want to target that marked unit immediately. Oh my god, it's already better. Now we're using the flat cannon right now. Pretty good damage. This target here, ripping through that guy. I will say, using a build like this, or at least this kind of fighter, you're definitely be moving around a lot more, which may not be for everybody. That's the worst. Let's. That's a lot of damage this time. Let's head in and that. Flat cannon. Shields off. One thing I want to make note of real quick is the flat cannon's great for taking out like drones or the smaller units. It does splash damage, and those units don't have armor generally, so you can actually do a lot of damage to them, unless of course they have an armored drone with them, which I think may affect everybody. So if you target them with your coil gun or your autocannon, you better take them out pretty quickly. But I will say, smaller targets definitely use the flat cannon just so you can keep doing damage and take out multiple enemies at the same time. Come back over here. Okay, we got overcharge. Some really good damage for us in the ultimate there. Let's take out this guy here. So that guy there that's glowing yellow right now, he's actually the one that does a lot of damage. Just pop the shield real quick. Those guys that have like the weird bubble of yellow, they're the ones that are getting armored like units in range. You definitely want to be careful of that. Let's take out some of these switch to our missiles. Let's take out. So we annihilate them. We got our thing. out anyway. Best use of my ultimate there. I focus fired that big ship a little too much. Lots of little drones, so I'll use my flak cannon. I like using the wheel gun for like more long-range engagements. It has that nice little distance. So if you want to pull out of combat, if you're in too much of a fray, you can do that. Fly back in, popper. And then we come in behind, take out these targets from behind. Take out that guy there, he's down. Boss is on his way. There, we got enough rockets. Alright. That went pretty well, actually. Let's do this. Up our damage increase. Put our rockets out. Start lighting them up. Alright. Disappointed. Looks like a lot of blues in there. That's right. The only couple reds. But a couple of shinies, though. So that's not terrible. Could be better, though. That's right. Grab our loot. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so that's a red shiny shield, which is good. Alright. That went really well. As you can see, that flak cannon made a huge difference. We were able to use that with the smaller units to just hit multiple of them, which is great. Again, stripping the shield with the actual coil gun is great, and then going in with the actual autocannon. This thing shreds through armor, which is great. So you can see, like, the autocannon did really good for shredding the armor, and then also just the attributes have are great, allowing me to do a lot more damage to them. Let's check what we got here quick. Again, not anything too crazy. A couple shinies here. Most of it's trash. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Overall, the build did really well. I'm quite happy with it. I like having this terminal velocity. It's really fun to work with. Let's head back home. Close it out. Back now. Let's refill our ammo here. So overall, it did really well. I enjoyed this build quite a bit. Again, I think making these changes we did, having the increased damage and stuff like that, made a huge difference. Also, changing out the thermo for the flak is amazing. Quite happy with that. The terminal velocity, personally, I like it. It's fun, but I definitely think it's not for everybody. It can get very confusing, especially if you accidentally hit it. So I liked using it. It was kind of fun for this build, especially with like a very fast-moving fighter, which is great. We did really well in that fight. I will say, when you're using this type of intercept, when you're using a fighter in general like this, when you're fighting, it's gonna be a lot more like, you're gonna be doing a lot more things. You know, if I use my bomber, it's just boom, 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 and I'm like kind of just doing a lot of mass damage. With this, you have to be more precise with your attacks. You have to be, you know, for instance, us switching from the coil gun to the autocannon, you have to make those maneuvers and try and keep track of that. So definitely, this type of play with a fighter is definitely fun. It definitely makes it like feel like you're really there and you're like really make some fun moves and doing some crazy stuff, which I think is why I love the Interceptor so much. It's just so much fun because like there's so many things you have to do to keep up with. So it's weird. Like I didn't use my missiles at all. I don't think. I think I might have used them once, and I kind of forget about them half the time because I'm usually just like, okay, with my other weapons I can do a lot of damage and not have to worry about these. But these are nice for the bigger targets. Especially those big, like, Ravengers that they are, those guys are tough. They do a lot of damage, send around rocket swords your way, and they will decimate you if you don't pay attention to them. Back to my point, playing the Interceptor is super fun, way more in-depth, like, fights. Just so much fun to play with. We will be playing with this again later on, but for now, we're going to put this one to the side now, and our next build, we're going to be working on our Striker. As you can see, I already got some weapons and upgrades that I want to do, and this one was really fun too. I wasn't sure if I'd like it. We also have a Legendary we're using on this one as well, but we'll go into that in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.